Hi everybody! Welcome to How to Use Google Keep to monitor reading progress for students. Remote instruction has made it particularly challenging to monitor students' reading fluency. Word recognition accuracy should be regularly assessed in the classroom. Timely and effective instructional responses are crucial for student progress and corrective measures. Google Keep will help you develop a structured fluency routine. It'll simplify the process of tracking student data and allow students to take ownership of their learning. For this lesson, you can save time by having your fluency passages and tracking sheet uploaded to your Google Drive. Your tracking sheet should be saved as a JPEG or a PNG. Download the Google Keep app for your mobile device to fully reap the benefits of this tutorial. In this tutorial, the ultimate goal is to be able to listen to your students read, keep track of their fluency, annotate errors using the Scribble tool, and use Google Keep sidebar to keep track of their progress. Let's begin with the Google Keep part of this process. I love Google Keep because it is a very versatile tool that allows you to do a lot of tasks. So to begin with, I have all these labels with sections of different projects that I have going on. I would go to the one that has my running record for the specific class. And as you see, there's a list of different students and their running records. And you could use them for different types of checking for understanding, but this is specific for reading fluency. It's very quick and easy because you could just insert an image. And if you're using your phone, you can actually just take a picture of the image that you'll be using. So I'm going to insert a pre-saved image that I'm going to be using with all my class. And I'm going to write their name as a title. Now it has the label that matches this. So I know that this specific Google Keep will always be found in this section. Unless I give it an additional label, then it'll be in two parts. Okay, now the fun part. I get to add my student as a collaborator on their Google Keep. So I would add the student. And I would save. Now I could put the dates that I'll be using for the student. Or I could just go by week 1 and have the students scribble in the actual date. That's completely up to you. The reminder part. This is where it's going to connect with their Google Calendar and their Google Classroom. This fluency process is very important to be structured on a weekly basis with your students. So I'm going to give a date and a time, and I'm going to make sure that it's a weekly date. So that student gets used to meeting with you every week at that time, and it's scheduled on their calendar so that they can read with you. So this is the Google Keep part. Now we're going to be going to the Google Slides. One important note to make before starting with your Google Slide is how you assign the classwork. You would go to Classwork on the section of students that you'll be working with and create a new assignment. You give your assignment a title and you add your passage. You would choose the student that you would be working with for this specific passage. So I will choose my student, and this is where I get very specific. I schedule my assignment to match the date on the Google Keep note. That way my student has access to the information at that time on a weekly basis. So I'm going to set my schedule time and date, and I'm going to schedule the assignment. The importance of this part is so that the student can preview the passage only right before we meet with him. It is important that the accuracy and all the errors that are made are tracked correctly, so we don't want the student to have access to the document in advance, because then they'll practice and it won't be a true picture. Once they begin reading, or once you have your live meet with them, they have the passage on their side that they can open up. You have it on your side. You can start your Google Keep, and then you start the timer. As a student is reading, you would make an annotation of their errors and track the time that they finish, and you could type in their words per minute. Now, when conferencing with a student, you have access to everybody's Google Keep notes, but they only get access to the one that you assigned them. So this is where the student would click on it and use the scribble tool or the pencil tool to go in there and color in their words per minute or their progress for that week. The next week, since we've already scheduled it and put a reminder, it's going to be at the same time and on the same date. Once they go to their calendar, they will see the set of reminders on a weekly basis. This helps create the structure for the time that you meet with the students. Differentiation needs to continue whether students are learning face-to-face with a teacher or learning remotely. Google Keep is a tool that helps you differentiate for your students and teach intentionally. Thoughtful consideration of when, how, and under what conditions progress monitoring is carried out is necessary to achieve the outcomes desired. Involving students in tracking their own progress gives them ownership of what they have learned and the best outcomes.